sure this is gonna work?
Absolutely. I'll switch this bag of sand with the Pope Francis bobblehead doll, and a door will open to reveal the greatest secret of all time. If not, we'll be crushed by a giant boulder.
Crushed by a giant boulder, world's greatest secret.
It's a risk, but the reward of the world's greatest secret.
Which, by the way, is what?
The purpose and meaning of life.
The purpose and meaning of whose life?
Everybody's. Life in general.
I'm kind of more interested in the purpose and meaning of my life.
Yeah, me too.
Well,
it didn't work. Run.
Welcome to Catholic Central. I'm Kai.
And I'm Libby.
When we talk about the meaning and purpose of life,
We're usually less into what people in general are called to and more focused on what am I called to.
what's my purpose in life? How do I live it out?
We have this feeling that who I am is somehow connected to the why I am, that my talents, passions, and dreams are clues to why I was born and what my life will end up meaning.
We worry about our goals and choices. Which college? What job? Should I switch to decaf?
We worry that if we make the wrong choice, we're doomed.
Life is an adventure. It should be a fun one and have a happy ending. The good news is you're not an accident in a random universe, but are created by a benevolent God with unique gifts and a unique purpose for being here.
We all have a gift to give, a lesson to teach, a story to tell. In seeking the deepest truth of ourselves, we discover how God has made each of us to make a difference in the lives of others and in a world that needs you.
The glory of God, says St. Irenaeus, is the human person fully alive. And God is constantly giving us opportunities to step more fully into our destiny. It's God's will for each of us, and it's not a one-time chance for us to make or break.
At every stage of life, whether you're an introvert, an extrovert, or can't decide, there's a reason we're alive, something we're to give or to receive. And the real question is, what that is.
I'm glad you asked, Libby. I've prepared a comprehensive 82-part plan to discern our purpose. First things first, we're going to need a sensory deprivation tank.
Whoa. It's actually a lot simpler than that, Kai. Catholics have been thinking about this a long time. They've got it down to 5 steps. You don't even need to be Catholic to follow them, and no deprivation tank required.
Sounds too easy, but okay.
Step 1, pray. Pray and develop a relationship with God. God is the one who created us to live full lives, lives with meaning and love.
And like in all relationships, communication is key. Setting time aside to pray, to talk to God and listen, opens up our hearts to hear the ways that the Holy Spirit will lead us to the truest places inside us.
Which leads us to step 2. Look at your life and experiences. What brings you the most joy? What do you hope that people will remember about you when you die?
I hope they remember the joy I experienced from my dinosaur puppet collection.
This is about personality and talents, what you love doing, what you're good at. Maybe it's physics or music or telling stories or the way you have with people, your calm, your humor.
Yep, dinosaur puppeteering. Oh boy, it's so fun to be here.
And you're so good at it. Step 3, learn about the possibilities. There's so much we can learn about what God is calling us to by reading, watching videos, or exploring the world. When we see how others live, we come to understand the challenges and rewards they experience.
This will help us sort out the options. It might give us some insight into what we long for in our lives. That something more, which will connect us to something greater than ourselves. Which brings us to step 4, talking with others.
As you discover more about what speaks to you and all the different possibilities, it helps to get some outside perspective.
Find people you trust, preferably someone who can be neutral and look at your future objectively. A teacher, a pastor, good friends, elders.
People can put you in touch with hidden gifts and blessings you might not have even noticed and give you encouragement and direction for the gifts that energize your life already.
And lastly, step 5, pray. Listen for wisdom and perspective.
Wasn't pray step 1?
Well, yes, but this is a little different. Step 1 is about developing a relationship with God in the first place. Step 5 is about the deepest work of the discernment in the silence of our hearts, real communication and listening.
Listening to God. It takes practice and patience. Some people experience God speaking in spectacular ways, like a burning bush,
Hey, Libby.
an angel,
Hey, Libby.
or a voice out of the sky.
Hey, Libby.
But most of us don't.
Most of us, if prayer has opened our hearts, will experience our calling in subtler ways. Through a tweet from an old friend, our achievements or our mistakes. The saxophone guy playing Amazing Grace at the bus stop. A new baby in the family. God is always talking to us. Be watchful and mindful.
Our calling might take a different shape than we expected. Look at Luke Skywalker.
Yes! Luke Skywalker grew up as a moisture farmer. He was focused on farming and fixing things and bullseyeing 2-meter-long rats for pest control.
And then one day Obi-Wan and the Force intervene and give him a new way to use his talents and experiences.
Farming a rebellion and saving the galaxy by bullseyeing a 2-meter-wide exhaust port and becoming a Jedi Knight.
Which brings us to our last and maybe most important point of the day. This discernment process isn't just an aptitude test like you might take at school or online. It's about discovering our purpose in the larger sense of the word.
It's not just about what to do for a living. It's about how we are in relationship with others and with all of creation.
The Catechism of the Catholic Church sums up what we've been saying today like this. It says our common purpose is to know, love, and serve God and one another.
And we do this by seeking out the most passionate version of ourselves and bringing it with love, fully alive to God's world.
In finding our purpose for ourselves, it serves the greater good and serves God, the source of all good.
And because we're always evolving, repeating the 5 steps can keep on guiding us whenever the path takes a turn. By developing and deepening our relationship with God,
Looking at our lives and experiences,
exploring the possibilities that are out there, talking with others.
and praying for wisdom and perspective.
That way, even though you'll still get stressed out and there'll be lots of hard work, you can get through it with confidence and strength to bear the burdens and come to places of blessing.
So the world's greatest secret? Not so secret anymore. Discover your God-given purpose for a life of meaning, joy, and love.
Crushed by a boulder?
For Catholic Central, I'm Libby.
And I'm Kai. See you next time. Wow, that wasn't a big boulder.
It was small.
It was a pebble more like.